what is a strategy that you can use that you can so-called kill two birds with one stone? That you can build database and also you can build brand. So the answer is, it's called virtual events. If you are able to do a virtual event, you can actually kill two birds with one stone. So if you are someone who is a creator or planning to be a creator, I would say that the first product that you want to launch, as in a product for you to be known, product for you to generate income, should not be a book, should not be anything else, but it should be a virtual event. When you do a virtual event, it can be a virtual class. It doesn't have to be one full day and so on. Or it can be an event, which is one full day. This is extremely powerful. First, as mentioned yesterday, it has been habitual for people to attend virtual events, so it becomes a norm for people to attend. And my little secret of doing this event is to have this film so that I can do virtual events in the future, right? So here right now, as long as I, lack of a better word, I don't lose money and I enjoy myself, I get to know all of you and I get to meet in person, I'm happy. So I'm not here to like, oh, I got to make this profitable, that kind of stuff. My core drive in terms of business is this recording. This is why I am sharing so much content, right? Because this is content that I need to use in the future. When you do the virtual event, there will be people who will register where you will build database. And the best way for you to build a brand is for them to see you live. When they see you live, they can connect with you. That is so much more better than them watching video tutorials or reading your articles, reading your blog, and all this kind of stuff. So this virtual event that you can do, it doesn't even have to be you who be the presenter or speaker. Like in the past, we do a virtual event with multiple speakers where we invite other experts to come in and do the sharing. But the key thing is that you are the key person. You are the organizer. That's where you build your brand and also you becoming the authority of that matter. So there are many books written today where it is compilations of several famous authors or even not famous authors. But who is the person that actually gets the most brand building impact? The person who compiles all of the articles. Classic example would be Chicken Soup of the Soul by Jack Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen. They sold 155 million copies worldwide. That's a lot of book for a book that you didn't write yourself. And this model has been around even to the day of Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill, in the description, I'm not too sure how true it is, apparently all of the content are actually from the masterminds, right? All these ideas comes from all Dale Carnegie, Thomas Edison, and so on, right? So virtual event, it is where you deliver the content and enhance upon your brand, even though you are not the presenter. The key here is the content. Because if other presenters come in and share valuable content, that also enhances your brand in overall. So this is also one of the reasons that I've turned down most, even the virtual events time, you don't see me doing a multiple speaker event with other organizers and so on. Again, please don't misunderstand this to be egoistic, but please understand this from marketing standpoint. All they do is that they're just going down and do their pony show and then pitch something. That's just what they are known at doing that, which is totally great because that is how they deem to add value to the community. Again, it has nothing to do with ego whatsoever. That would be so shallow to think about it that way. It's all about marketing and it's all about branding. That's it. That's all. The most valuable asset that you have in this industry, in this business, is your reputation. Your reputation will worth the millions. It really doesn't matter at what stage you are, whether you are a beginner, you're new, whatever it is, it's all about your reputation. You tarnish that, you don't get to do business anymore. You keep a good reputation, invitations will continue to come to you non-stop, and you have multiple options to choose from there, right? So, this virtual event process, how do you actually go around and build it? First, you need to know who you want to serve. And to do that, I want to share with you what I call the 10K blueprint. The 10K blueprint is based on my ultimatum consultation I do with my clients, and it's called 10K is because that's what they pay to be in the program, 10K. Every single steps can be systemized in these 5 steps. So whether you want to do a virtual event, whether you want to launch an affiliate funnel, whether you want to write a book and sell, anything boils to these 5 steps. So if you figure these 5 steps correctly, then you can launch whatever you want on the internet with an info product. Or I could call it an e-learning product because we're doing virtual events here right now. So the first part here is your niche market. So let's identify this 5-step blueprint for a virtual event. So who you want to serve, that is what the niche market is. Now the keyword is who you want to serve. Because the niche market, it is not really a market, but it's actually made of real human beings. You got to know who you want to serve. When I say who you want to serve, it doesn't mean that you need to know how old they are, how their hairstyle looks like, what color is their eyes. You're not referring to any of those, right? But generally, what is their interest and what is their problems? There are those 2 key things. Now, you cannot so-called pick your audience, but if you release the kind of marketing message that you want that audience to react, you will attract that audience. So for instance, I know my audience. My audience are usually the smarter ones, right? These are usually the smarter ones that sort of understand if I go to a free seminar, there's not much value that I will get, right? And they will be willing to pay for the content. And they are not those biz-op kind of fellas, but they understand about business building. That is my audience, the less hype audience. And if you go to other kind of seminars, right, you will see some same faces of people who always attend free seminars. You won't see them here. Why? Because we filter them all out by charging for our event. And that's how we do it. The reason why we don't serve that audience is because that audience, it is not filtered. What do you mean by not filtered? So for those who come in for free, right, the mentality is very different than someone who comes in who is willing to invest in themselves. And not just about the making money, but we want to make sure that our customers get the best out of their own time. When they pay, they value more of the content. When they don't pay, then you know it's the other way around. And when we charge, we are able to deliver real value. Because there's cost. I mean, putting up this venue in Sheraton and you drink your free flow coffee, there are real fees, there's real charge, right? So if I don't charge, imagine if I don't charge, every 15 minutes I got to pitch you something. Can it be just as transparent as that? And then I got to bring in 3 platform speakers. You know what is platform speakers? They come, they spend 90 minutes, they tell you 3 things. 1, their story. 2, the concept. And 3, their pitch. right? They come in and then they do whatever they have to do, and then they gotta sell you something, because I need to make money to cover my expenses. That is how it will be. I cannot deliver what I want to deliver, right? So this is why free events has its disadvantage. Now, is free event bad? No, it is good. Why? Any event that you go, one of my friends once told me, who is a millionaire, he says, any event that you go, if you have an open mind, right, you always learn something. You cannot lose. You cannot lose by go out there and learn. It is just that the experience will be different. A free event, I got to, like I said, every half an hour, I got to sell something. I got to create all this urgency. I got to create all this high pressure selling and stuff like that. And that is how I can cover my operation costs. But right now, I don't have to do all of that. Now, with virtual event, we can do free. Why? Because there's no cost. You see where I'm coming from? And you can still deliver the content that you want to deliver because there is no cost. That is the beauty of that. Whether 5 people attend or 100 people attend or 500 people attend, doesn't matter because your job is to build a database and to build your brand. And your brand is based on the content that you put in that 2 days or 1 day or 1 hour or 5 hours event/class. So, the niche market, who you want to serve, what they're interested about. What do I mean about what they're interested about? So let's say you are doing an event about health. Then obviously they must be interested about getting healthy. Very straightforward, right? Problem will be another segment. It means that your event is supposed to fix a specific problem. So this one will be more specific. For instance, example, a class or event about how to overcome recession. So, which means that you're solving the problem of people are facing the recession issue. Make sense? So you found that audience. That is your niche market. Once you found your niche market, then you need to have your website. So depending on your level of expertise, if you are an advanced player, then you can build a proper website and all this kind of cool stuff. But if you're just getting started, let me share with you the resource to do this. All right? That you want to capture it in database, and also to capture the database, you need to have a web page to do that. So all you do is you can go to this site called eventbrite.com. Because eventbrite.com, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't charge you a fee if you're doing a free event. They will only charge you if you do a paid event. Now, with Eventbrite, you don't need to have a third-party software anymore. So go to eventbrite.com. There will be guides, put a headline, description, and all this kind of stuff. We don't have the time to go through your copy. I'm sorry about that. That is something that's very lengthy. That's something that we cover more in depth with our coaching students and so on, but we won't have time for that here. So you now set up your web page, which means that technically you can start building your database, right? So once you figure out step 2, and you have done that, then step 3 is your offer. So when we talk about your offer in a virtual event, we're referring to 2 types of offer here. The first offer is the virtual event itself. So what is the offer? The offer is the virtual event that promises to teach XYZ. I use the word virtual event. It can be a virtual class. It can be a 2 hours class. It can be a 1 full day. It's up to you. It depends on how much content you have and how much you want to play with this model. The second offer is basically how are you going to monetize your virtual event. So if you have your own products, that is where you present in the virtual events. And if you don't have your own products, you just promote affiliate programs. Now, when it comes to offering your own program, if you are being authentic with what you have, when you first get started, don't get too, overwhelmed with how to pitch, how to do all this fancy stuff. You don't have to do that. Just tell them what you have. If there are people who will buy, they will buy. If people don't buy, people don't buy. And then you just improve on that. Because your focus is not to sell your product. Your focus is to build your database and build your brand. But if you need to monetize, right, the fastest way, it is basically to promote someone else's product. So, in whatever industry that you're in, I'm pretty sure that there are speakers who have products. You can invite them to come over to your virtual event and share their expertise. And of course, you want to tell them, hey, please provide content and not just pitch some offer, because we promise our audience valuable content. Now, if you don't have a third-party speaker and so on, that's okay, because you can just do recommendations of different affiliate programs. So let's say, if I do an event about, let's say, email, and after I share the content and they need to sign up with an autoresponder, I can recommend them the right software to do that, and it goes through my affiliate link. Do you see that it's effortless to generate income when you are serving? So the offer here is twofold. One is what you're going to give to them, as in like the virtual summit or the virtual event. The second is what you're going to offer to them in the virtual event. And the next one is none other than the traffic. So if you have done this, you know a niche market, you have your website up, and then you have your offer. The last piece is basically driving traffic, or should I say promoting the virtual event. Now, here's the fun part, or the good news. Because it's free, you should have no problem to fill up your room. It's free. If you're going to tell me that you're going to have a challenge to fill up a free, something that you're struggling to give things away for free, then I can say that you better don't do internet marketing. Because if you can't do with free, how are you going to do with paid? You know what I mean? Like, if you can't go with free, then how are you going to try to sell something in the future? So free should be the easiest way for you to actually do it. Now, it only becomes a bit more challenging if you are in the topic related to how to make money topic. Like, how to make money from cryptos, how to make money from the internet, and all this kind of stuff. Why? Because this audience is a bit skeptical. This audience will know, hey, what they're going to sell to me, that kind of stuff. But if it's about health, parenting, sports, exercise, and all this kind of stuff, you have no problem to fill in the room at all. How to play music. Like, for instance, example, during the MCO, we get our kids to attend a lot of free classes as well. Classes about drawing, classes about coding for kids, and so on. And we know that at the end of that, the organizer will have some classes for sale. Obviously, we know that, right? But we're not bitching about it, because it is okay, because this is not the how to make money niche. You are with me? Do you feel my vibe? Like people can accept free classes where it's not about how to make money stuff. There's no taboo on it. So like I sent my kids to learn this coding. It's from this company called Kido Code. I'm not sure if I heard that. Yeah, in you do Kido Code, is it? Right? How much you pay for Kido Code, may I ask? Like 7,000. Right. That's the price. I sent 2 kids. They finished this free preview, but it's good. Like they really teach good stuff. That's what I'm trying to tell you, right? You build a database and you build a brand, and after that there will be the salesperson who go through with us. It's about 7,000 plus, just for kids. Do you see how crazy this is? Just for kids. So I got 2 kids, you just times 2, work out the maths, whatsoever it is. Like I said, we weren't bitching about it and stuff like that. We were okay. We're even okay to sit in to hear the presentation about the offer, right? But that is the price for education, I think, right? Even for kids 7,000 plus. I think if adults was to learn about stuff, not from kiddo code, from probably adult code, would probably be much more expensive. So as you can see, if you are in the education business, it can be a very profitable and lucrative business if you're serving them well. So let's go back on the traffic here. How are you going to get traffic for a free class? The good news is that there's something called social media, right? And if you have your event inside Eventbrite, and it's not about how to make money, how to build business, that kind of stuff, chances are you'll get free registrants just from the Eventbrite website itself. Because there will be people who go to Eventbrite and see what they can attend for free. That's one thing. Social media, obviously, share with friends and all this kind of good stuff, and it will be easy. Like for instance, Basit, who is our coaching client. Basit, can you just raise hand a little bit? All right. So Basit is in the niche of reciting Quran. Is that correct? Reciting Quran. So it's a very beautiful niche. So he helped his subscribers or students or clients on how to recite Quran better, because they could be busy and they didn't have the luxury of learning that process maybe at a younger age, and right now they want to learn and then they can learn from Basit and so on. Now if Basit do a class, right, let's say 1 day event about reciting Quran, let's say, right, that's it. And throughout that, he could have maybe 2 guest speakers to come in, not just about reciting Quran, but topics related to Quran. Could be how Quran teaching to be applied in daily life, for instance, or give case study example of how people are doing it wrongly and what is the consequence for doing it wrongly, for instance. It could be someone with authority to come in and to share things like that. Now, if he was to do that, I think he wouldn't have problem to fill up a free event. Would you all agree with me on that? Not hard at all. How could that be hard? Because you just need to share on social media, friends will share with friends, and so on. But if Basit do a class about how to make money from crypto, right, I think it will be a bit harder, because people will be skeptical and says, you know, this is how to make money, I'm not going to share with my friends. So you start to share in social media and people start sharing things like that. And you can even share in WhatsApp. I know, it sounds crazy, right? Like people know, nobody really thinks about it. Like for instance, when my kids go to drawing classes and so on, it was shared forward and forward and forward and forward by parents to parents to parents to parents to parents. Right? Because they say, wait, free class, forward, free class, forward. So you can get it viral that way. This is for the local market. On the international market, of course, you focus on using Eventbrite and so on. Now, it really doesn't matter how many attendees that you have, which leads to the next part here, which is basically the conversion. Because you must understand your goal and your purpose, right? So in order for you to do a live event, you could use many different kind of platforms. The one that we were encouraged to use is none other than Zoom, because it's the most stable, there's no lagging, and so on. But if you want to work on something that is free, you can always use Facebook Live. You can also use YouTube Live. These 2 are free. I use Zoom because I want to moderate and all this kind of stuff. So when you start doing this, you will start to have the momentum. You build your first round of database, but more powerfully is that you now have a framework. Once you have done this, you have a framework that you can continue to do it again in the future. Another of my ultimatum client, his name is Grandmaster Tan. Grandmaster means it's one level higher than master. So Grandmaster Tan has like a lot of masters. Like Grandmaster is like the Grandmaster, right? So he teach about Qigong healing. It's the same process, there is no like component 1, component 2, no component 3, bonus 1. No, it's just basically you just send over email and say, hey, can you help me? I said I have an automated program, do you want it? And what's automated program? Well, help you achieve success. Full stop. I mean, that's what automated program is. You want success, you join automated program. That's about it. Don't ask me about what the component things like that. I'll find my ways to help you achieve success, right? There's the network, the resources, the half-day consultation, and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, let me share with you what I did consulting with him. So I understand his business, so on. It's all offline business. He do Qigong healing, he has center, he has classes. And after that, what I strategized for him is to start to do online Zoom classes for Qigong, teaching about Qigong and how to put a landing page, how to drive traffic and things like that. And the business grow and starts to go online. And obviously, he has made back his investment. After, I think, 1 or 2 months, he made back his investment. And now, he is able to digitalize his offline business to online right now. But the key point that I want to highlight here, it is about him doing virtual classes. That is the main thing that changed the whole thing. And he was so happy because now his students or his clients, right, not just in KL anymore. Because last time it's restricted to demographic. And the coolest part here, he has expanded his business to Japan. So he's doing Zoom classes for people in Japan right now. And then his product is Qigong home courses, like how to do Qigong home courses, where they can buy that for a few $100s, and it's in USD, and it's good because outside of Malaysia, the price is not expensive anymore. But you see, everything has two sides, right? So while we pay a little bit more, but because we're in this room, it's actually good news for us. You know why? You pay in USD, but you make in USD. That is much, much, much better. You pay one time, you make forever. Why not? You pay in USD one time, right? Let's say it's $1,000, but you earn in USD $1,000 every single month back later on. So it's always a plus point. Like when I built my network marketing business, which is Jeunesse Global, which is a US-based company, everyone was bitching in like, the product is in US dollar. It's 4 times more expensive. But I say, hey, you got to check your commission or not? They also give you 4 times more, right? So it's a good deal. So there you go. This is how you get started by following the 10K blueprint. All right. Anyone have any questions? Now, I think that if someone wants to get started, like already started but haven't really expanded yet or haven't really got started, in my humble opinion, is that going through another course won't help you. Or attending a weekend workshop won't help you. Spending another 4,000 attending a work. Sorry, I was going. No, it didn't work. Right. Attending another 2 days workshop is not going to help you to do that if you are just getting started, right? And I mean, I've seen people saying that, attend my workshop lah, and then you can become a millionaire. I just don't understand how does that work. I think that if you want to get started successfully, it takes more than a weekend. It takes more than a month because there's just so many moving components. Now, you can study on your own if you want to, that's okay. But at the same time, I also want to offer for those of you who needs our help to help you for 1 full year. Right, so we're gonna go to that extent to be committed to help you because I don't believe that that I can help you in 1 weekend. Like sales copy, traffic, there are just so many moving components. So this is why we're going to extend the Digital Wealth 12 months coaching, 12 months to work with you because I think that not only that it takes more than a weekend to achieve success, which I think that if you give us 1 year to help you, I think we can do it. And at the same time, I think it takes more than just attending something and try to figure out on your own, but you need coaching. As in like someone to respond to you. I'm referring to real coaching. You get started one-on-one with a coach, go through everything, you understand the blueprint. It's like a holistic training. Just think of it this way. This is the only thing that you need for the entire year. So that you don't jump around, hop around on different workshops and different workshops and different workshops. Because when you start to do that, not only that you don't learn holistically, but you end up spending tens of thousands and get nothing back in return. Because you get a little piece of here and things and so on, right? Like I know a lot of Basit project because Basit is also in the program. That's why I know his niche market is Quran reciting, and we're helping you. Could you just give a few words? How is the coaching helping you to get started so far? Right. Can you pass the mic to Basit? And I think that, I'm not sure whether I can say this or not, but I think he was struggling with no real direction. He doesn't even know what niche market to get in before the coaching even starts.